and welcome to the Wise Owl Knits podcast. I'm Cheryl Beckridge, and it has been since December 31st, 2024 when I last podcast, so not sticking with my every 2-week plan. But anyway, I'm happy that you guys are here today. I am down in the basement of our house in my husband's office area, and I've got my knitting all spread out everywhere around me, so I'll be reaching for things. I'll put the link to the quilt pattern behind me up, but I always forget the name of it. Anyway, it's some American flag quilt that I made a couple of years ago. Today I'm wearing my Keeping Time sweater, and this was knit out of Knitting McPurley Dubrovnik DK in 4 colors. You can do it in 3 colors, or you can do it in more colors if you'd like to. It's a very easy color work pattern because it has no long floats at all. 2 stitches, I think, is the most that you run into, and most of it is 1 by 1 color work. So 1 stitch in one color, 1 stitch in the other color. This one is a tad tight on me. This is the smallest size, and I really should make size 2 for me. And I do have that knit up. I'm just not wearing it today. So I thank you all for being here and watching me today. And I'm going to go through what I've been doing. First of all, starting with new designs. I've got I will have a retreat, Knitting McPurley retreat update, but I'm going to do that at the end of the podcast. So if you're not interested in that, you can flip it off then. But I do have lots of pictures, and was really fun, but I'll go into all that later. So now we'll go into new designs. You have seen this one before. This is the cowboy sweater. And it is available now on my website. In fact, if you go to my website today or tomorrow, and today is February the 8th, but through tomorrow there is a buy 2, get 1 free sale going on sweaters. And you need to use the code KMP to get that discount. So that's just good today and tomorrow. It was good from the beginning of the retreat on. So this sweater, the cowboy, is knit in Mystery Mouse Yarns. She has kits, so hop on over to her website. I believe there are still some available, and if there are not, there's plenty of good colors there to choose from. So the cowboy sweater, knit in Mystery Mouse Yarn. It's a pretty simple color work sweater that starts at the neck and works top down. The first couple of patterns in the color work are pretty simple color work, so if you're new to color work, you're starting off with easy. As you get down into the cowboy hats and these designs, this just geometric design here and the long horns, there are a few rows that have larger floats, and you'll need to catch your floats on those. So those are a little more challenging, but still very doable. So that's the cowboy sweater. Got another, let's see, where am I going to put things after I show them? We'll go back here. I almost threw it on the ground, but our dog has been laying on this rug down here, and it's full of dog hair. So enough dog hair gets in my stuff without me purposely putting it there. The next design is called Fraser Fur. I'm going to come a little closer and you can see kind of a Christmas tree design that is just done with pearls. Let's see. There we go. There you can see them better. This sweater is also knit in DK weight yarn, and I did this in Skeins Southlander, but any DK weight will work. But I would say don't do anything that is super dark colored because it's really difficult to see the patterning the darker the colors. I first did it in a dark green and I love how the sweater turned out, and I've been wearing it all the time, but you can't really see the patterning. So I am looking for test knitters on this. I've got a list of test knitters that I will send this out to, but if you would like to be included on that list, send me an email at cheryl@wiseowlknits.com or fill out the contact page on my website and tell me you'd like to be added to that list, and I will get that out. The pattern is not completely written up yet, so it still needs to be finished writing, which shouldn't take too long. I just have to get a chunk of time to get that done, and then I need to send it to the tech editor. So it's something that would probably start in a couple of weeks rather than a couple of days. So if you're interested, send me an email, cheryl@wiseowlknits.com, or go to my website and hit the contact button and you can send me a message through that. You can also message me on Instagram, Wise Owl Knits with 2 S's. So I'll be looking for those. I've got another new design that is another color work, top down circular yoke, and this is in Mystery Mouse yarns. And this is just a 2-color design. I'll get a little closer on this. I've split for the sleeves, and now I'm working on the body. The yarn, as I said, is DK, and this is the contrasting color, which is not attached to the sweater anymore. And this is the main color. As I said, they are from Mystery Mouse, but she dyed them for me. I know she has other things that will work as well because she's got a lot of yarns that have different tones in that. Sorry, that's not, it's blurring out when I put it closer to the camera. But this has orange and yellow and kind of a purplish tone, and it's great because you can see the color changes or the color variations throughout the pattern. It's really kind of fun. I'm not sure on the name on this one yet. I think it's going to be something like Doodles or Confetti. Pretty easy color work sweater. The color work is just on the yoke, and then it's single color throughout. And I am going to write this to be a long sleeve sweater, but you could certainly make it short sleeve too. That would be up to you. I've got another sweater that is an itching to cast on, and it is from a yarn that I looked at all weekend at the retreat and kept saying, I don't think I'm a sparkle person. I don't really like sparkles. And I looked and I looked, and then I had to buy it. And this is from Arkansas Yarn Co. This is the sparkly. There, I think you can see it a little bit. And then, so the sparkle color is called Fresh Leaves. And just a pretty, pretty green, which, you know, I love. I love the greens. And then this will be the contrasting color, and it's called Peony for Your Thoughts. So it's got some green speckles in it, white and pink, fuchsia, just lovely. And what I am thinking with this yarn is to do a t-shirt that is raglan, short sleeves or cap sleeves, and the color work will be with slip stitches rather than stranded color work. So that is all in my mind right now. Nothing on paper, but hopefully by the next podcast I'll be able to show you some progress on that. So those are my works in progress. And this is an acquisition too. So I'll talk about acquisitions later, but you've already seen this one. Works in progress. I did take some easy knitting to the retreat because it's a social knitting situation where you're talking with people and meeting new people, learning about their lives, their family, their kids, their projects. So I am doing a hat squared, which is one of my free patterns on the website. And on the website, it's in 2 colors. So it's a much like the very famous pattern that a lot of people knit hats now. This is a 2-layer hat where you start on the inside and increase. Start with 4 stitches and you increase until you get the circumference that you need based, and I've got stitch counts based on the size of yarn you use. You can use really any size yarn. And then once you're done increasing, you just knit and stockinette, and then you switch to ribbing, and you can do 3x1 ribbing or 2x2 ribbing, or really whatever you want that is in multiples of 4. So on the pattern, it says just to do a couple of inches of ribbing and then switch to the new color and do the same amount of ribbing on the new color, and then it'll be this way then. You got done with that ribbing, knit down, and then you decrease at the top, and then you fold the hat into itself, and you have a nice 2-layer hat. Now I'm doing extra ribbing because I want to be able to fold my ribbing over and have it turn out to be 4 layers around your ears. And I'm doing only 1 color. This yarn is from Knitting McPurley, and it is the Frankfurt fingering in my very favorite color, which is Meadow. So, been working on that. Have a little more to go, but I think with TV knitting this weekend, I'll probably get pretty close to done. So I worked on that a lot at the retreat, but after the retreat was over and we went down to South Texas to my son's house, I realized I didn't do the increases correctly and they were spiraling rather than being in a line. So I did pull it off. I pulled out everything that I did at the retreat and I started over once I was in Austin. So, knitting's so nice, you do it twice. This is also a Knitting McPurley yarn. This is the Dresden DK, which is a Surrey alpaca and silk, and I'm working on the Flux Cowl. This is in the color Beryl, and I'm probably about halfway done on this, and I worked on it the first night of the retreat out at our public knitting. We were all in the lobby just knitting. I worked on it that day, and then I kind of switched around from thing to thing. So the Flux Cowl is also a work in progress. And then the last, well, there's a couple more things. The Cozy Memories blanket. Where did I hide that? Somewhere. Oh, right here. Too much stuff out here. Got one more square finished on the Cozy Memories blanket, and I finished that up before I left for Texas. So I think I've got 7 squares now. It might just be 6, but that is a long-term project, and I'm using my leftover scraps of sock yarn for the Cozy Memories blanket. And this doodle sweater again, I worked on this at the retreat too. I got to the point before I left that the color work was finished, so I just worked on the round and round and round for the body. And obviously I have a ways to go on that. So those are my works in progress. Now on to the retreat. The retreat was so much fun. Thank you, Devin Ventry and Gigi and Lisa from Grapevine. Lisa did a lot of the legwork on finding a location and helping Devin choose, and it ended up being very close to her home, which was nice. But she had knowledge of the area, she had knowledge of the yarn shops that were around, and Devin and Gigi just did a fantastic job of organizing the whole thing. I think mostly Devin, but I think Gigi was a big help too, and it was so nice to meet her. She was so funny because she's like, everybody is so excited to meet me. And we were. It's nice to meet a young knitter, and we'd all seen her on the Knitting McPurley podcast, so we felt like we kind of knew her, and it was fun to have her there. And I think she helped her mom in the vending booth a lot, and just general helping out the whole time. So met lots and lots of new people. There were, I think, about 40 people at this retreat that were at the previous retreat, so it was great to see all of them again. And it was great to meet all the new people too. It was just a fun group. And you know how it is when you get a group of knitters together. We were very chatty. There was a lot of time spent out in the lobby of the hotel, which had 4 or 5 really good gathering areas, so groups of us could gather and knit, and people would go from spot to spot. But I think the hotel was a little bit surprised at the noise level, because you get 100 women out there talking and it does get a little loud. But it was just fun and relaxing, and I think that is almost my favorite part of the retreat, is just sitting around and knitting and talking to other knitters. But in addition to that, I vended at the retreat, and there were other vendors and a variety of bags and yarn, and I think I was the only one with patterns, but I really didn't take my patterns there. I mostly took my Emma Ball products to sell. But Susan from Delightful Works was there selling. I know I'm getting this name wrong, but it's the gals from Oregon that do the beautiful bags with leather accents and Pendleton wool. Is it Woolen Works? I think that's what it is, but I will correct that here and put that up on the screen for you. Those bags are fabulous, and there were a couple that I saw that I really wanted, but I was vending at the same time, so I missed out on those. I will be checking their website. I'm going to give them a little bit of time to get restocked up, because they sold a lot. They did very well. Krista from Sweet Mountain Crafts was there selling her hand-dyed yarn, and I got some of that. Of course, Knitting McPurley, and I did not get a chance to buy any of her yarn, but I will be visiting her website soon. And I've got a lot of her yarn already. Lori and Lindsay from Arkansas Yarn Co. were there, and they had the sparkly. They had very elegant, just the class that they taught was, that Lori taught, was on adding beads to your yarn, and she had a couple of patterns that were in cream colors or cafe au lait colors, just light browns and beiges, and just very, very classy and upscale looking patterns that went with her yarn. And a lot of her yarn is sparkles, which, as I said, I didn't think was for me, but I've changed my mind on that. So Lori was there, and then Mystery Mouse Yarns was right next to me, and I did get some of her yarn. She had a retreat colorway, so I got that. Am I missing anybody? Oh, Chicken Lady. Chicken Lady Fiber Arts was there. And I didn't make it to her booth either. That's the hard thing about vending is, especially if you're by yourself, you don't have much chance to go out and shop, which is bad and good at the same time. So I will be visiting Chicken Lady's website also. So there were also a good group of teachers at the retreat, and I taught brioche. I taught just a one-color brioche class, and this is just a little mug rug or coaster that we made in class. I've got a, why am I out of focus now? I'm gonna sit still for a minute and see if that gets better. Okay. Who knows what's going on? Technology gets you every time. Anyway, I will have the pattern for this up on my website as a free pattern, and there is a tutorial on how to do it also on my Knitwise channel on YouTube. So the word knit and the word wise, two separate words, and I've got a lot of tutorials over there. And if you purchase any of my patterns, a lot of times there's a QR code that will take you to that Knitwise channel. I'll make little videos. If there's something that's new to me or something that I think might be new to a lot of knitters, I'll just do a short video to show you how to do it. So I taught that. Knitty McPurley, let's see, Devin taught Math for Knitters, which is a class that teaches you how to switch from the yarn size that's specified in the pattern to a different yarn size, and kind of goes through the math on how to do that. I wasn't able to take that class because I was teaching at the same time, but I hear she had dance breaks in the middle of the class. And I asked her about it later. She said, you know, you can only talk about math for so long before you have to move around. So she actually had 2 dance breaks in her class. Carista from Sweet Mountain Crafts taught needle felting to make cards, and my son is deployed right now, and I tried to do Army Camo. Didn't come out great, but I'm going to send it to him anyway. And it was fun to do. I could have done some flowers or sheep, and you probably could have told what that was, but I actually was going to write happy birthday on it, and that was really a fail, so I ended up taking that off. But it was fun to do, and I hadn't done needle felting in a long time, so I enjoyed that. That was really the only class that I signed up for because of the vending and teaching. I didn't feel like I really had time. I did end up on Sunday morning going to the steeking class, and I hadn't done my homework because I didn't plan on going, but it was really fun and enjoyable to do. And that class was taught by Rachel, and I think that was a super popular class too. Anytime you're going to cut your knitting, it's a little scary, and it's nice to learn the different techniques. The technique that she used in this class, you actually needle felted in the steek area before you cut, but she talked about the other methods too, and depending on what you're making and what yarn you're using, you might want to use various different methods. Holly taught a fit and flatter class, which talked a lot about dressing and making your knitwear in accordance with your body type. And so I didn't go to the class this time, but she did teach that class at the first retreat, so I think I got part of it from that. and then she sent home the handout with me. But the reports that I got back from that class was that everybody really enjoyed it and found it to be just really great information. Lori from Arkansas Yarn Company taught a class about adding beads to your knitwear, and she used a little tool that was like a tiny, tiny, tiny crochet hook to load the beads onto, and it had some kind of stopper to keep them from falling off. And then you pick up the stitch and pull the bead down onto the stitch, and then put the stitch back on the needle. So that sounded really interesting, and I know people really enjoyed that too. I think I'm gonna order one of the beetles so that I can try that out at home. Let's see, Denise taught sock heels and toes. I think there was another sock knitting class too. Maybe a two at a time socks. And I did not write down who taught that one, so I'm sorry. I'll get that up there too. Marie taught a class on basic crochet, and a lot of us knitters crochet just a little bit, but not a lot, and so that was nice. You know, they can go together. You can switch from one craft to the other. You can use crochet as edging on your knitting, so it's a good skill to have in your tool bag. Okay, what else was I going to tell you about the retreat? Oh, the swag bag. This is not the swag bag. This is a bag that I got, and this is the retreat fabric from Susan at Delightful Works, but I have all my things in here. So in the swag bag, there was this small zippered pouch, and that's from Delightful Works. I've got things in there already. There was a mini skein from Sweet Mountain Crafts, a set of mini skeins from Knitting McPurley. Thought I had it upside down, but I don't. Okay, those are pretty pastel colors. I'm not sure what I'll use that for, but I will find something. Oh, from Woolen Works. That's the name of the bag makers from the West Coast. Guess I'm moving around too much. This is a mini skein yarn cozy. There is some balm, hand balm and lip balm from Knitting McPurley. Always good stuff. A tape measure that says it will black out. Always in need of those too. They seem to disappear. And a little notions holder. Oh, you know what? I won this as a prize. That was not in the swag bag, but we played a bingo game. Super fun, where there were bingos, and this was our icebreaker on Thursday night, that we had to go around and find people that fit all the different categories, like I'm a designer, I'm a selfish knitter, I've been to Rhinebeck, I always follow the pattern. I never follow the pattern, but you had to go around and get all the squares filled in, and then once you did, you could reach in and get a prize. So that was my prize. Also got a cute little pair of scissors. Can never have too many scissors. And I haven't tried these yet, but they look like they are good, and they're hefty. There were some other coupons and things. I don't have those with me now, so I'll go on to things that I purchased, which this is from Sweet Mountain Crafts, and it goes with the mini skein that she included in the swag bag. So this is 5 20-gram skeins, and this is, I think this one is a 10. Oh, this is a 20-gram skein also. it just looks so much smaller because all 5 of these are together. So that is a fun little thing. And then I got the Phoenix colorway from Mystery Mouse Yarns, and I was thinking this was the Retreat colorway, but I may be wrong. But it's beautiful. I love all the colors, and this is a DK yarn. This would be fantastic for color work as the contrasting color because it's got so many different things in it. So that is something that I might have to think about. Sometimes I buy the yarn first and come up with what it should be, and other times I come up with a design and then go seek out the yarn. Both ways work. So let's see. I think I've gone through my swag bag and accusations. I'm gonna put up pictures of people. We have a group picture of the whole retreat. So, that I'm gonna cut into spots so you can see people up close a little bit better. So we've got the whole group. We've also got smaller groups like people that brought their Faucette sweater, the Grapevine sweater, which was our knit along before the retreat. Lots of Devon's designs, the Sock Society or the League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters, the first sock in that. There were quite a few people that did that one. The Timbo vest, there's a group of people in their Timbos. So lots of pictures and lots of me trying to get selfies with people, and I'm not very good at it, and you see my double chin all the time, so sorry about that, but we'll just go through all of those. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate you being here and listening to me ramble and get off track a little bit, but one more thing. On Saturday, we had the meetup with Carrie Smith of Deprogrammed, which was so fun. I have been watching her and listening to her since 2020, and it was great to meet her in person. And I also got to meet Liz from You and Dye, and she's not dyeing anymore, but she brought me a bag of yarn, which was so sweet of her. And got this silvery gray, and this purple. I've got 2 of each, and she said she's got more if I need more for a design, so that was wonderful. Now I feel like I need to look at my thing. I think that's about all. I did write down that a group of us went to Mass on Saturday night, which was nice to go and to go with friends. And, you're at a different church than you're used to, but it's all still basically the same. So that's one of the things I really love about going to a Catholic church. No matter where you go, there's a place that you can visit and still feel at home. So thanks to Devon and Gigi for giving myself and Shelly and Guy a ride to Mass. And just to sum up the whole weekend, was a great weekend. Met lots of new people, had lots of fun. Just spent a lot of time chit-chatting with other knitters, and you can't beat that. And after that was done, I headed down to Austin and met my husband and my son down there for another few days of fun. It was 85 and sunny there. Not quite that nice in Dallas, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks. Bye.